everybody. Well, if you're watching this video, it means that you are ready to start assembling. Well, where does that leave you on our direction sheet? Well, you should be down to number 9 where it says nail all outside pieces together. Be sure to use a nail set to sink in the nails. Well, if you're to this point, you got to start getting some tools out. So you'll go to the tool closet and you're going to get out a hammer. You're going to need to use a square so we can make sure we have nice straight lines when we're nailing. You're going to need to get a nail set. And you're going to want to grab a small handful of nails, okay? You're going to need at least 12 of them, but sometimes they bend, so you can grab more than 12. So that's why I say a small handful. The nails are located on the outside of the tool closet in a gray box in the lower left-hand corner, all right? There it says labeled nails, so just grab as many as you need. Once we have our tools ready, then we need to get our pattern out that we've already created, and you need to have your 4 pieces. Once you have that ready, you're just going to go ahead and you're going to set your pieces, making sure that all of your grooves line up where they need to for your design. If everything lines up, the next step is what we're going to do right now, which is put our nails in. Okay, so I have my box, I have it assembled like this. I'm going to take my 2 long outside pieces and I'm going to place them face down on the table. Take your pattern in your short pieces and push it off to the side for right now. We don't want those, and the reason we want to push them off to the side is so I don't actually accidentally nail into the short pieces rather than the long pieces, okay? Now that I have my pieces ready, I need to figure out where my nails are going to go. Well, I need to also figure out how thick my wood is. I'm going to tell you guys right now, the wood is 3/4 of an inch. So we're going to do a little bit of a math to figure out where we want to line our nails up along here. Because if you take the nail and you put it too close to the corner, I bet you could guess what's going to happen. It's either going to come out the side or it's going to chip the wood or even just split it. If you put it in too far, then it's not going to nail onto anything. So I want to get my nails exactly in the center of the wood here. Well, if I were to grab a ruler, I can tell you that this wood is 3/4 of an inch thick. All right, so with that, we're going to do a little bit of math. And I have my iPad here to help you guys out so you can see. We have 3/4 of an inch. I need to divide that in half, okay? Well, if you've done anything with fractions, I know you're in 6th grade, you should have learned it in 5th, but you might have forgot over the summer. If we know anything, when we divide, we actually have to just multiply the top numbers. So 3 times 1 is 3, and then 4 times 2 is 8. So I need to measure in on the ends of my wood 3/8 of an inch. Here's another little tip for you. Whenever you need to find half of something, whether it be half of a board or say you're cooking something and you're measuring and you want to cut your recipe in half, all you have to do with the fraction is multiply the bottom number by 2 and leave the top number the same. Okay, so just a little tip for you in the future if you're ever having to divide fractions. All right, so now what I need to do is I need to grab a square and I need to grab a pencil. I'm going to measure from the short end of my long piece. A little bit confusing, but just kind of look at the pieces I'm using. I need to measure in 3/8 of an inch. So I take my ruler, I'm going to measure in, make a light mark. You don't want to make a dark mark on here because you guys just spent all that time sanding, and you know what? We have to sand the marks off when we're done. So I measure in on all of my pieces, I measure in 3/8 of an inch. I'm going to take my square now, and I'm going to place it along the edge here and draw a very light line going all the way across. Turn around, do the same thing to the other side. All right, and I would do the same exact thing to my next piece. Now, for time's sake, I already started one, so I'm going to set that piece off to the side. So what we're going to do now is we need to nail 3 nails into the end here, okay? This is where you have to have your safety glasses. The other pieces we were just using pencils and tools, but now we have to have our safety glasses. You're just going to take the nail, you're going to place it about a finger width away from the edge, right on our line, and you're just going to nail in until the bottom just peeks out a tiny little bit. We want to do that with all 3 of our nails. Okay? Now, another quick little math part for you. If you are putting 3 nails on each end, and we have 4 ends, how many nails are you going to need altogether? think about it. Do your multiplication. 3 times 4 equals 12. So you need to have 12 nails in all of your pieces. Once you have this step done, we want to bring back our pattern that we had from before. Okay, we had our pieces laid out, so our grooves were lined up. I'm going to go ahead and lay my long pieces back where they belong. Now what I would like to do is I am going to take 2 pieces. I'm going to take an end piece and I'm going to take a long piece and I'm going to nail them together. Now when you do this, you can choose to just use your hands and hold it in place, or you can use the vise on the edge of the table. All right, I find it easiest to use the vise. Okay, but when you do that, make sure you know which direction your pieces go in. Taking a look at this, this is how I want it to be connected. If I were to nail it this way, notice my groove, not in the right spot. We'd have to pull it apart and redo it. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to line up my nails, and I like to do the center nail first. And the reason that I do the center nail, all right, is because I want to be able to make any adjustments in case it moved while I was nailing it in. We're all good there. Now I'm going to go ahead, I'll take my hammer, nail it in. Now notice when I'm holding the hammer, I'm not choking up on it. All right, I'm not holding it up here and I'm not lightly nailing it in. I'm using a lever action. So the farther down I hold and the more power I'm going to have when I'm hitting my nail in. All right, so I have one side done. Lay this back on here, make sure everything lines up good. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to take my other piece, place it in the vise, lock it in nice and tight, and then simply repeat the same step. Center one, outside, outside. All right, so I have those pieces together. Next, I'm going to go ahead, making sure that my pieces are all still in order. Can't tell you how many times you want to refer back to your pattern. If you don't, you might end up nailing your pieces together wrong. All right, you'd go ahead, you'd nail the last piece on. All right, once you're done with that, you need to set the nails. That means you're going to take the nail and you're going to push it into the wood a little bit. It's very simple. Just have your pieces laying up, grab the nail set, place it on top of the nail, use your hammer, and you're just going to set it into the wood about 1/16 of an inch. Once you've completed this step, the next part is adding the bottom. That's another video for another day. If you have any questions on this at all, please ask the teacher, or you can even ask a friend too. All right? Thanks.